All right, what's this puzzle? I'm gonna do this last puzzle. And then jump to subside. Okay, black to move. Black to move. Let's see. You can't do this. You can just like block. I think you can just like block this. I think you just block and push. No. All right, let's get to subside. Okay. So, here's how I want to do this. First, let me cut the music. So, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna have Arrow Vortex open, and I'm gonna be basically going. Hey, what's up now, Kari? Where'd you streaming? Did you just stop playing? I was just in your stream. I am gonna go in Arrow Vortex, and also I have a YouTube video of me getting 1 excellent on the song. So I'm gonna be basically going over stuff in Arrow Vortex and then referencing the video and like playing the video back so you can kind of see what's going on live, I guess. Not so much live as it's happening right now, but like live as in I'm hitting the arrows with my feet. So nice, man. Hope you had a good session. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, Subside 12 is a very difficult song. It's very, very hard. I forget what all the ratings are, but definitely Tech 10. I know that much. It's definitely a Tech 10. It's very much like a puzzle you have to figure out. I know Miran's in the chat, the creator of this chart's in the chat, so shout outs to Miran for making cool stuff. Yeah, so without further ado, let's take a look at the chart one time in full in Arrow Vortex. I'm gonna just start it when the arrows start. That's fine. I'll start at the beginning. Here we go. Subside 12. So one really hard thing that you have to do when you play the song is you have to know what's a bracket tap, what's a double step, what's a foot switch, which is, you know, that goes back to the whole like puzzle aspect of it. So it's really all about like solving. You have to solve the puzzle first, and then you have to like execute it with your feet. It has some relatively new tech that is using like Atlantis Hawk as well, which is this idea of like doing a foot switch bracket like consecutively. So like the evolution of the step jump, it's like a bracket jump, right? It's like a step bracket. It also has really hard rhythms. It just does everything a lot. It's a lot of chart. totally and utterly ridiculous. So that's the chart. If you've never seen it before, congratulations, now you've seen it. And I hope you're surprised. I hope you're as surprised as everybody else was when we first saw this chart. So how the hell do you even start figuring out a chart like this if you're, either you're new to 12s or, you're trying to, maybe you've FA cleared most of the 12s and this is kind of one of your last ones. Either way, what I like to do always is break it down into parts that make sense to me. So here's kind of how I would do that for this song specifically. So step one, let's use some of our ink here. Can I still scroll? I can't scroll. That sucks. Let's use... What would contrast well with this? Let's use like this pink color. Okay. So here's my tips for success, right? So number one is chunk. Chunka. So how would I chunk this song? So there's the intro bit, which has this really unique pattern right here where with these notes, you're having to basically go step the center when you see these mines. So I'll get into that in the weeds a little bit, but just note that that's what these are. It's like really interesting. So I would say that there's like this intro section, which kind of stops here. So there's like this intro section right here, right? Then there is this kind of like long kind of like break section that's just like kind of like just a build up musically, right? It's just like the musical build up. Nothing really serious is happening here. Which the musical build up kind of ends here. So this is like the end of the musical build up here, like somewhere over here, measure 16. And then you have like the first, like, in my opinion, the first like really hard part of the song, which is these like you have this section that's like all about like bracket holds and like if you look at this pattern right here, like let's just look at this pattern, like this, let's isolate this one section right here. You have to bracket this, right? So this is a right foot bracket right here. Right here is a right foot bracket. And then what I do, this is not like the only way to do it, but what I do here is I hit this blue note with my left foot. And what this mine is telling me is to foot switch. So I'm basically hitting this with my right heel while I'm bracketing this, right? And then hitting this with my left foot. So it's very, very complicated and confusing. But this is not just a one-off. This is a pattern that gets used over and over again. So just keep in mind, like, this is the level of complexity we're talking about for this ridiculous chart. So there's this section, right? There's this section. Cool. And there's a lot of those. And then you have like then there's a drop, right? So this part's the drop. Hello? Is it right here? Cool. Yeah. See, it's great to have Mirren in here. Thanks for being here, dude. So yeah, that is the intended way. So there you go. Straight from the creator right there. So the drop is like another chunk, right? So the drop, what do you have to do in the drop? You got some brackets, you got, some of those things I talked about, like the bracket foot switches, normal foot switches. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. The pattern isn't really changing though. So, okay. And then we have, so that's another segment right there that we just conquered. And then we have another intro section where there's like these little skips, 64 skips, and then you like go step on the mines once again. So we're doing that. And then there's like this little 24th run, which can be its own segment as well. These jacks are pretty hard. And then you have the second drop. So right here, what does the second drop sound like? Sounds like this. Oh my god. Stop. Okay, you will never, ever get a masterful on this note right here. So just forget about it right now, because it's just impossible. No one knows how to time this section here. No one knows how to do it. So even if you listen to it on a Assistic, you're just never going to figure it out. So just abandon all hope, all who enter, for sure. So yeah, this is another section right here. The drop, you can see that there's some like tricky foot switches. Some more kind of like sparse notes here, some sparse brackets. Another like build section that's like pretty straightforward. And then you get to the ending part, which in my opinion, this is the hardest part of the song. My best score ever, I think I've gotten to this part with like 10 awesomes or 12 awesomes, and I've ended with like 30, 35. So I think this is, in my opinion, like if you look right here on the screen, you can see like how much of the chart's left and how much of the chart we've already done, right? So I think this is just like the last 33%. The last 33% of the chart's like really the hardest part. I wish I could control Z. God damn it. Okay. So yeah, so what makes this part really hard is foot speed. Foot speed and messed up rhythms. So let's listen to this last chunk with like Assistic. You'll see it's like ridiculous, right? Holy moly. So yeah, that's all that I would consider like just one. I would just consider this the end, and it's all very, very hard. Cool. So now we have like we haven't really gone super in depth into like the tech, but now we have like an idea of like, okay, there's clearly a lot of parts to the song. So now that we understand that there's a lot of parts to learn, we can go through and learn each step at a time, right? So that's like step 2 in how I break down charts is like, after you've done the chunking, you have to, and I'm writing with my mouse, so that looks like shit. So let's try that again. Learn, turning, right? Learn each part. Okay, so to do this, let's go to the video. So again, you should have a rough breakdown of like what's happening at each part now. So let's go to and actually give me ones. I can actually probably close. Can I close? Yeah. Let's go to my chess puzzles window, I guess.
Hey.
Jesus, what was that? Okay. So here is me. What do I get on this again? Okay, so this video, in this video, I get 31 awesome combo, and 1 excellent FEC on this. So I hit all the holes, I didn't hit any mines. So this is easily my best round on the song for sure. So yeah, I'm going to use this as an example to kind of like go through each of the parts. We'll watch it kind of a few times, and like I can slow it down if you guys want, but ultimately, yeah, let's go through and let's go through each section. So let me do this. It's looking good. All right, sweet. This will do better for sure. Yes, I have. It's currently my number 10 song. I have 33 awesomes and 5 other. Fuck, dude, get to the content. All right. I really want 6K on this. All right, so how do you? Hey, 666. So how do you do? This is the first section, right? The first section is all about the like skips and ghost stepping the center. So let's play this on like 0.5 speed so you can see what that looks like. So every time I'm hitting these arrows, here's what I'm doing, right? So let's just take this random pause that I had as an example. These are just the taps are just straightforward taps. There's no crossovers, there's no foot switching. You're just alternating feet like you normally would play, DDR in the groove. And so as such, right, these steps are just like left, right, left. But anytime you see these two mines, you can pretend like you would alternate your foot. You would use your right foot, right? You would use your right foot here to hit these. But what you're going to do instead is you're going to have your brain translate these two mines into the center panel, right? The center panel is what you're going to hit with your right foot. So instead of you're constantly alternating hitting arrows, anytime you see a double mine, you're going to use that alternate foot you would hit an arrow with and hit the center, right? So knowing that information, we can go back in time and look at what's happening here in the song. It's kind of hard to see, but hopefully with both the angles, you'll be able to see. I think the top-down one you can probably see pretty well. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you're following along or if I'm going too fast or something. Cool. So this is okay. So this is where you see the first bracket in the song. Yeah, it's like, so yeah. I think that what Grady said also makes sense. I highly advise not just hopping to the next arrow. I think getting used to doing ghost steps is really valuable. That's how you, I think, get really good as a player is, when you watch a lot of the top players play, especially Chris, and I know Flash does this to like a crazy degree. You always see some like the top players adding ghost steps. Like, I think it's how you keep time, and it's a really, really good way to stay accurate through the course of the song. So yeah, highly recommend doing something. So Grady's message here of doing a foot switch makes total sense, right? So if you wanted to, you could get the same result foot switching the last arrow. So right here, right, what would that look like? Right here, that would look like this is you're using your right foot, right? And then you could hit the down arrow again, right? Down arrow here. Oh my God. Drawing with the mouse is the worst. Down arrow here, you hit that with your left foot, right? And then you're back on right here. So in either case, yeah, Nirvana, totally. I totally understand. That said, whether you do a center arrow or another arrow that's safe, quote unquote safe, you're still alternating feet. So the whole point is to alternate feet, hit something, right? Hit something, and then be ready to use your alternate foot again for the next actual arrow, right? So at this section, just hit whatever's safe, basically. Every time you try to foot switch on the safe arrow, it'll be a candle. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I just automatically assumed that it was supposed to be center steps, and to me it just makes a lot of sense to do it center steps. So I'm gonna recommend in this video of like how to execute the song. I'm gonna recommend that it's center steps, but you can really ultimately, I guess, it is a disclaimer, you can do whatever works for you at any point in time for sure. I'm just sharing my perspective, so totally makes sense. All right. Okay, what's next? I'm gonna actually go to like 0.75 speed. I think 0.5 is like a little too slow. 0.75. Okay, so bracket this with your left foot. If you're trying to do this jump, do not do this jump. Actually, this one you might be safe if you do it as a jump. No, okay, do not do it as a jump. Do not do that as a jump. You want to definitely do this as a bracket. So bracket this with your left foot. I'm not going to explain bracket technique because I figure if you can do 12s and you're trying to do subside, you can probably do brackets. So this is a left foot bracket right here. Oops. Bracket right there. Bracket, 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 bracket. See, that foot switch is a little evil because if you don't do it, you're going to get owned by this mine. So you can either do this foot switch or you can just like go to a safe arrow. Like you can move your left foot here. Like basically you can move your left foot like to down, right? And then hit these as up arrows. But I recommend just doing a foot switch, which would be, left, right here, right? Okay. All this should be, again, if you're clearing 12s, it should be pretty straightforward. And this is like the first drop, right? So this is where it starts to get really, really, really hard. And even in this section right here, like there have been times literally in these three arrows, this section right here, where I've given up because if you're facing the wrong way right here, you're just fucked. Like it's so hard to recover in the song that every piece needs to be done correctly. So how do you do this part? This is a right foot bracket. This is a left foot tap into a left foot bracket. Okay. And then we get to that, what I alluded to earlier, which is like one of those really tricky patterns where, again, you're hitting this, you're hitting this bracket right here, right? You're hitting this bracket with right. This is a right foot bracket. And then you're hitting this, the mind arrow, the arrow with the mine. That's going to be a left foot tap. And you're going to hit this second arrow after the mine with your right foot, which is also holding the freeze arrow from your bracket earlier. So I think a lot of people, like, this is the first place they get really confused. And so you can, again, watch my feet in the top down view over here and see how I'm doing it. As we watch this happen a few times. So this is like it's not just, again, not just happening one time. It's like 6 times or like 8 times or something. It happens a lot. So try to keep up and see what's going on here. Boom. Look at this. 6 times. You see, I'm using my toe. I'm using my like if you watch these next arrows here, I'm using like my heel flat footing. I'm just normally flat footing this, and then using my heel, which is my toe is holding this, my heel is hitting this. It just happens so fast, right? The game is so quick. Okay, I'll do it one more time. It's so dense with tech. Don't forget that this is also just a double tap, right? The right arrows. Do not try to like side switch those. Do not try to side switch. This is just right. Just hit it right. Right. I don't know if I covered this. So here's another really tricky bit, right? So as you're going between each of these little like, yeah, exactly what Grady's saying. It's not about re-triggering the hold. It's not a, it's I think you could do that a real dog in Larksford, but I would not advise. I would not advise that. I in my opinion, this is an example of a song that's worth practicing and getting it correct, versus trying to come up with your own strategies. That said, I recognize that because Mirren's here, maybe some of the things I say aren't the way that they intended the chart to be done, but it's what I have found. Again, I gave my creds at the top of this stream, which was like, I have an awesome combo and 1x flag on it in the groove. So in my opinion, those are really good scores. So you can either choose to listen to me and how I get those scores, or you can do whatever works for you. It's really your call. I'm not here to sell you. I'm just here to like unlock what's worked for me for maybe it'll work for you too. So that's really it. So this is a left foot bracket here, and the way that I do this is so left foot bracket. My left foot's holding this arrow, right, and my right foot taps this as a normal, just like alternating feet here, and then my left heel is hitting this right here. Right, so it's all about you're continuously holding this. I'm holding this with my toe the whole time, and you can see right here, this is a right foot bracket right there. And the same thing, you do the same thing facing the other direction right here. Same thing. Okay, we have our first instance of the, this is the next section now. This is the next section. And we have these ridiculous right foot bracket, left foot, foot switch. So this is a foot switch. This is a bracket. And then this is normally done as you foot switch out of it. So this is really hard to get right. The main thing you have to focus on is lifting your foot up. And Vincent talks about this in one of his videos. But on like foot switches, right? Like the reason why foot switches are hard, I think Harpoon was the video. I'm sure it's Harpoon, but basically the reason why foot switches that are this quick are so hard is because people don't pick up their foot their feet quickly enough to trigger the next arrow, right? So in order to hit this arrow circled, you have to make sure that your bracket foot, your right foot is hitting this bracket and you're immediately going to the foot switch. It's like you're doing that, like you're just like ba bang, right? You can't like just shift. It's like really hard to like shift your weight or something. Like you have to be very deliberate with like flat footing both arrows. So this happens a lot in this section. There's a few of these too. So let's see this section now. Ooh, okay, and then these guys fuck people up all the time. Yeah, totally, Grady. Yeah. So this part's crazy too, right? So this is the same like big brain exercise of bracket foot switch, but it's eighth notes, right? So this is a right foot bracket, right? This is a right foot bracket. This is a left arrow tap. That's a foot switch right here. This is a foot switch. This is a bracket. Same exact pattern, right? But now instead of 16th notes, they have to go ba ba. This is eighth notes where you go ba 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 ba, right? So here this is the same. This mine is doing the same thing. It's telling you to do a foot switch, and so here's what that looks like, right? There's multiples of these. I'm just giving you the one. I'm not going to go over like each part of it. I'm just telling you the tech, right? Bracket, foot switch, right? Bracket, foot switch, bracket, foot switch. Bam, 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 bam. Same as the beginning right here. Same as the beginning. Thanks, man. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. This is cute. This is cute. So this roll, right? This roll coming up, right? This roll at the end of the 24th stream. If you continuously hit that roll as 12th notes, this one I will actually play. This roll right here. This one I will play in 1x speed. But if you continue, you can hear what I'm doing in the video. That allows me to properly time the seemingly random arrow coming up at the end of the roll. So you basically use that roll to keep time for that other like random note. It's not random, but you get what I mean. So here's what the roll sounds like, right? It's kind of interesting. So it's actually eighth note. I lied. Da 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 da. Yeah. So I'm only hitting it twice. My mistake. Sorry. Or 3 times maybe. So I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it as a fourth note, eighth note, and then I'm skipping the other one. So it's like da da ba da, right? Da da ba da. Da da ba da. Is that, you guys see that? And now let me slow it down and I'll show you. Da da ba da. Yeah, exactly right. Da da ba da. Yeah, so roles are really interesting because roles you can kind of customize and tailor. Roles you can kind of like customize and tailor to be like ghost step. Like be the automatic way that you ghost step, because all a roll is asking of you is to keep it, like you just have to keep it going, right? You just have to like keep some kind of like repeated, I forget the exact amount you have to do. I think it's like 180 BPM eighths or something. I forget the exact like tempo, but yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want as long as you keep hitting it, right? So For me, like I just turn the right roll into a way to ghost step into the next section. So that's what I do there. Yeah, D-gram, that's exactly what I'm doing. I misspoke. I think I'm doing eighth notes. Is it eighth notes? Yeah. So I'm just doing eighth notes. I think if you did quarter notes, you'd probably drop it, right? Because it's 124. Yeah. So you gotta do eighth notes. Okay, cool. These I do as jacks, the 12th notes. That you can see how I'm just tapping all of them with my right foot here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. This part's a little fucky. So this part right here, this is a foot switch. And these are double taps. So here you're gonna go, left foot, right foot, and then double tap left, left. Don't try to side switch that for sure. Do not make it more complicated than it needs to be. What is this part though? I will always get an awesome on that note. You have to hit it way earlier than you think it is. This note. This note is the bane of my existence right here. I cannot stand this note right here. So annoying. It's just so annoying. D-Grim, I love this chart. Fun fact about this chart, it was like close to winning the democracy round that it was in, but ultimately I felt like MDX's chart was a little bit more accessible, which was like part of the democracy like vibe was like making fun tech charts. And this one was like a really evil tech chart. It wasn't that it was not worthy. Oh, is it harder? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I definitely played this one. I definitely played this one in the pack it appeared in, which was the postmodern tech, and I thought it was insane. But the song was definitely it was put in everyone's head because I chose it as a early democracy song last year. So a lot of people made charts for it. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I didn't know the lore. I didn't know a lot of the lore there. Anyways, that note's impossible. I can't give you any tips on how to hit that. I hit it late for sure. So I think you want to just hit it like faster than you think you have to hit it. Don't know. Brackets. Foot switch section again. Ba 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 ba. This is the hardest part of the song. These 30 seconds into these, like, I don't even know what quantization. Like, it's probably like 190 second notes. I don't know. 96 notes. 96 notes. So yeah, this part's just ludicrous, right? So honestly for this part, there's really nothing I can teach you. Like there's at this point, like the way I figure out charts like this is I just play, I like listen, I watch it with the sys-tick like I'm doing here, right? Like I'll go in Arrow Vortex, I'll have a sys-tick on, and I'll just listen for how the clap sound in relation to the music, and I'll just try to execute that on the pad and just practice, right? Because if I know how the song sounds and I know how the claps are supposed to sound, then I can put two and two together. But there's no other way to really like practice. Like there's no shortcuts I can give you verbally or like through video to help you with that. Like that's just something you have to put in the time and do, right? Yeah, the bursts don't start on the quarter note. That is very, very important and very, very hard about this section. Yeah, so one, that's, I never thought about this until right now, but what you could do if you wanted to go super crazy with the ghost steps is you could basically add this 30-second jack. I don't know how feasible that is, but you could add this jack in your ghost stepping. I'm joking. I recommend doing all the crossovers here too, because it just gets too complicated, right? So like you do this burst. That'd be insane. So right here, right, what I'm saying is I recommend personally, when you do this bracket, right, do this crossover right here. If you don't do the crossovers, I think the chart gets a lot harder. And like in the you can double step it, right? The problem with double stepping is it just makes it even harder to time. Like the reason why this part's the hardest is because the rhythms are insane. So if you're double stepping inherently makes it harder to FA. In my opinion, I think people are built differently, but I think like if you double step the section, I think it's very hard. Some people I think would say crossing over makes it harder to FA, so it really depends on what you're good at. But when I cross over on parts that like if I cross over on sections that resolve, I tend to do better. So again, just that's just I don't even remember what I do in my video. Would love to see what I do in my video. I probably double step in my video. Yeah, I'm double stepping in my video. I did that crossover. So hard. Okay, so how many awesomes did I have before that part? Okay, I had 6 at halfway. So I had 6 awesomes at halfway. Oh my god, I got 3 really dumb ones. Okay. So at 73% in the song, I have 17 awesomes, right? Okay, and then in the last 27%, I got almost 17 awesomes. Again, I got 14 awesomes. So I really think the last, if you get like, if I could solve the last 27% of the song, I would have like an insane score on this. All, like basically, I think all of the teals are like 96 notes. Right here, they're all 96 notes. There's no teals. They're all 96 notes. So no teals here. These are like teals, I think, right here. This note always fucks me too, right here. This guy. Then you see that same instance of this is the bracket foot switch. Bracket foot switch. This is right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Very, very, very cool and very, very, very hard song. Where's the video?
Come on!
I was going for 6K.
My goodness!
I wanted 6K really bad. My current score is 59.96.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure it's 59.96. I don't think so, no.
That's why this game is hard.
Let's see.
Fuck.
Yep, 59.97. 59.97 is currently my top score.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm constantly adjusting my sync. Because my game drifts and every millisecond matters.
All right. Boo. Pachoo. All right. So that'll conclude the first ECFA breakdown. I'm happy to go back and like explain any other parts, but I really just want to like keep it like a once through. So this is also going to go on YouTube. So let me know if this is YouTube right now, if we're in YouTube right now, let me know in the comments if this was useful for you. If, I'm going to be doing like 14s, 13s, and hard 12s probably. If you're a developing player and you want help on like easier content, like the 7s to 11s, I understand 11s are not easy for a lot of you. So I don't mean to offend anyone. It's just, I'm talking about relative to where I am right now. So for me, like it's hard for me to see where 11s get difficult. So let me know if there are hard 11s for you. Happy to break those down too. There's so much hard ECFA content that I could do like 3 of these videos a week, which I'm not going to do, but I want to try to do one. But I could do like 1 a week and like literally never finish. So it'd be great to hear kind of like what songs are going to be doing it. Yeah. People in my chat right now are saying hi to YouTube, but they I think only just realized that there's no chat visible on the screen. So, badoosh! Got him! Though Grady did say the Lonesome Shady breakdown, and I'm gonna have to time him out for that. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna hang out on Twitch still for tonight. But if you're on YouTube, catch you in the next video.